not even the real film. It's some mockbuster from the bargain bin.
What's wrong with how to rat-a-twang your panda?
You're winning, Panda. Use a secret weapon.
Okay, you asked for it.
Huh? Hey! Y'all like my new intro? Like 2% of the people who posted about it, I actually went out and watched the day the Earth blew up. Same thing everyone else said, no one was there in the theater, but oh my god, it was a great movie. I'm so glad after all this crap, it's finally out.
I'm a flavor scientist at the gum factory.
That's a bad bitch right there, bro, I'll tell you what. As I was sitting there watching it, I got this huge wave of nostalgia hit me. I realized this was the first time I saw a 2D animated film in theaters since Princess and the Frog in 2009. It felt so surreal, like it was a new experience. The conversation of primarily 2D media being in theaters has been a discussion for some years now. From what I know, the main reason we don't do it is because years ago when CG was becoming popular, it was a selling point for the audience. Check out this new, somewhat realistic style that no one has ever seen and done before. With also 3D being slightly cheaper, quicker, and a lot easier to market as something worth seeing, big executives came to the conclusion that 2D was no longer needed, or at the very least, not what was going to bring in the big bucks. This is still how it is today, since computer assistance makes 3D a lot more budget-friendly and realistic. The better it moves, the more likely it'll market. That's what I assume they think. Also, it's just become the status quo for current theatrical animation. You go into the theater wanting to watch an animated movie, it's gonna look like how they've been looking for the last, what, 15 years? When did Despicable Me come out? Most of these movies are stylistically different, but carry somewhat of a similar vibe to how they look and move. That's why a film like Sausage Party got so much attention online for having the similar visual style, but a completely different vibe towards the story. And it's why Spider-Verse got so big, other than the story and characters being amazing. The visual techniques in the film looked like no other at the time. It had no choice but to stand out. And it's why so many movies after that took a lot of influence from its style. That was a great leap for 3D animation, but we haven't seen anything like that for 2D animation, for high budget theatrical 2D animation, since there's no more investing in it. Proof of that was this movie. No one freaking talked about it except animation Twitter. Even though 3D is, from what I've learned, more financially stable and less labor heavy, animation in general is in some shit right now. From all the animators I've talked to, live streams that I've overheard, and very angry Twitter rants I've read, it's that with streaming being so popular, there's no gumption to go out and purchase anything, whether that's tickets to a movie, physical media like DVDs, or even views on TV. Back in the day, entertainment was an event. When a big movie came out, a new show or a brand new episode of a show would come out, and same thing with new albums, consoles, whatnot, people would go out of their way to make sure that they could see it, since streaming wasn't a thing yet. People would leave work early, stand outside for tickets, make sure everything they needed to finish was done so they could be there in front of their TV screen, in their theater seat, at the front of the line at the store to watch or get what they've been waiting for.
Students sleeping outside in tents to make sure they get a good seat. We're not talking about getting in, no. Students are camping out to see who gets first in line and gets the best seats in the house. You know, I might be an old guy, but I have a problem with this, and if my son or daughter was sleeping outside, I'd have an even bigger problem.
With streaming, that urgency is gone, because it's just right there. You don't gotta worry about missing out, not catching it until a week or so later, or not seeing it ever again, because once it's uploaded, it's at your convenience. Which is nice, but it's not too good for the industry. Put it like this, imagine you own a shop, right? And you need a certain amount of sales a month to continue to afford your business. What will be better? A huge influx of customers that would sell out your product if it was limited, or a very slow, low amount of people coming in every few days who might buy what you're selling? Even if you make enough money with that second option, that treading thought of, will it be enough versus this is more than enough, is what is worrisome to a company. And that's what streaming is, a convenient but slow source of income. We all complain about reboot this and reboot that, but the reason there are so many reboots is because reboots, or just already heavily known IPs, are what gives studios that first option. People are nostalgic. If there's something that's coming out that's related to something you already love, why wouldn't you go out and watch it? Something I've never personally understood is when they do this, it's always with a new coat of paint. Instead of them rebooting a 2D film in a more updated 2D look, it's CGI or live action. I mean, they do this because, again, 2D is a little bit more expensive and it's no longer the status quo for theaters. But the more close to the original style it is, personally, the more I want to check it out. But that's just me, apparently. That doesn't mean shit because the Lion King remake made a fuck ton. But remakes and reboots are what's giving studios that big influx of money and retention that they used to get. Making something original is too much of a risk because people just won't give enough of a fuck to check out something unfamiliar. There's been an argument that if they bring back 2D animation in theaters, then that itself would be the eye catcher, since 2D hasn't been in theaters regularly for years. People will go see it and go, whoa, I gotta check this out, it's so foreign. So, with this movie being an already established property that everybody knows about, it also being a well-animated 2D production that hasn't been seen on the big screen for a long time, why not market this? When a movie's about to come out, you see commercials, you see ads, billboards, social media posts, cereal boxes. They didn't do any of that. Everybody knows the Looney Tunes. Everyone young and old would watch this movie. Why didn't they tell anybody? That's been the biggest question everyone's been asking. And I'm not a genius in this type of thing, nor do I have any experience in the industry, but I think I know why the marketing was so terrible. Have you guys ever heard of this movie called Cats Don't Dance?
Hollywood, where the streets are paved with gold.
Me neither. But here's a little history lesson. Cats Don't Dance was made by Ted Turner's Turner Entertainment's animation unit, which was pretty much the people that were still left from Hanna-Barbera. Cats Don't Dance was in post-production in 1996, pretty much already done, until Ted Turner had a merger with Warner Bros. With new Warner Bros. People coming in, they decided to put Cats Don't Dance on the back burner. But with the film pretty much already completed, they decided to just put it out willy-nilly. There you go. See, we put it out. Now stop asking us about it. God. They pretty much put this out with no marketing. It's been said that they did this because they had other films they wanted to release and market around that time. And with Warner Bros. Not having any faith in Cats Don't Dance, they decided to just use that marketing money for other movies instead. And to just leave the Cats Don't Dance movie out to dry. I was going to put a cat hang in there joke there, but it would have been incredibly dark given the reference. Now, with current events going on, doesn't this stream of events sound familiar? I don't know when the production of The Day the Earth Blew Up began, but with Turner being bought out by AT&T in 2018, then the Discovery merger in 2022 creating Warner Media. God damn. I'm sure something happened in between those events to cause this movie to be neglected. David Snatchbox has shown that he's willing to push back already greenlit ideas for bigger IPs. So really, what else could have happened? Thank God for Ketchup Entertainment coming through and saving this movie. And the Wile E. Coyote movie. Without them, these movies would have been tax write-offs, never to be seen again unless it was leaked. So, say thank you. Everyone say thank you to Ketchup Entertainment. Thank you, Ketchup Entertainment. Thank you. But that does mean we need to go out and show out with our wallets. If Warner Brothers sees that there's a market for this type of stuff, shit, they might make another one. And more and more and more. Other studios will see that and follow suit. This is the very small chance we've been waiting for to get 2D animation back in theaters, and for it to be taken more seriously by the industry. Not sure when this video is coming out because I'm a lazy bastard, but if it's still time, please go watch The Day the Earth Blew Up, and don't stop talking about it. Don't stop talking about Wile E. Coyote versus Acme. Only animation Twitter has been consistent, but the more attention these get, the higher likelihood we'll get what we want. Maybe. Not gonna lie, I got a little passionate there, but if you do support 2D animation and want to see it in its highest quality again, frame by frame animated in a theater, then don't play. And watch these two movies. Buy the DVDs if they ever make them, or support anything else that might come out as soon as possible that's 2D. It's all up to us.